How this urine will be gets filtered in a flow chart we'll see now. First nana, afferent arteriole. From afferent arteriole, that impure blood, okay, what blood nana? Impure blood will enters into what? Glomerulus. From glomerulus it enters into what? That is Bowman's capsule. In glomerulus it gets filtered and enters into Bowman's capsule. Okay, it is here this stage it is called what? Impure blood. That impure blood, the impurities get filtered here in the glomerulus. They get filtered and that impurities will get filtered and enters into Bowman's capsule. At that time it is called what? Primary urine. That primary urine from Bowman's capsule it enters into what? PCT. From PCT it enters into what? Loop of Henle. From loop of Henle it enters into what? DCT, distal convoluted tubule. From DCT it enters into what? Collecting duct. From collecting duct it enters into what? Nothing but calcis. You learned in the transection of kidney in the last video. You see in the calcis, no? From calcis it enters into what? Pelvis. From pelvis it enters into ureters. From ureters it enters into what? Bladder. That is urinary bladder. From urinary bladder it enters into what? Urethra. From urethra they will be expelled out. So this is the process of urine filtration, impure blood filtration and urine formation and passing of urine outside. In that you come to know now about the ureters. Ureters are 30 centimeters in length. 30 centimeters in length. And we have a pair of ureters. We have what? A pair of ureters. That is from right kidney, right ureters will emerges, and from left kidney, left ureters will be coming out. We learn in the human excretory system. And these ureters are distendable. Okay, distendable structures. What means distendable means? They will be extend when the urine flows is going on. At the time the size will be extended, and when the urine flow is less, at that time the size will be decreased. Distendable tubes. Next, they opens into both will gets opens into what? Urinary bladder. Opens into what? Urinary bladder. Next structure is called what? Urinary bladder. Urinary bladder. This urinary bladder is a sac-like structure, Nana. It is a sac-like structure, and the capacity of this urinary bladder is 700 to 800 ml of urine. It can able to store, Nana. 700 to what? 800 ml of urine. And this is sac-like structure, and it is elastic in nature. That is, it can show the elasticity, increases the size. When the pressure of urine is more, automatically size increases. When the quantity of urine is less and pressure is less, automatically the sac will be gets the size will be gets decreases. Next one is urethra. This urethra is just a tube-like structure. It is a tube-like structure, and it is a 20 centimeters in the males, whereas in the females it is just only the 4 centimeters. And why it is 20 centimeters in the males means it is separate. Okay, when you come to it is a separate from the male reproductive it is a part of the what? Male reproductive system. It is one of the part of what? Male reproductive system. And in this only both what is that? Sperms as well as urine gets transmitted or transferred. Whereas in the females it is a 4 centimeters and it is separate from the female reproductive system. You take female reproductive system and this urethra in the female reproductive system is completely different. So this is about the parts. Next one is a maturation, Nana. Next one what? Maturation. Maturation means it is also called as a urination. Okay. For example, see, Nana, this is a urinary bladder. Okay, this is what? Urinary bladder. And this urinary bladder will be there, and this urinary bladder between the this is a urethra. Between the urinary bladder and urethra there will be 2 ring-like muscles are present. These ring-like muscles are called as a sphincter muscles. They are called what? Sphincter muscles. Okay, and this is what? Urethra, and this is what? Urinary bladder, or simply we can call it as a bladder, and this is called what? Urethra. And whenever the urine is filled, for example, you think that here the 300 ml of urine is filled, here the two muscles are there, sphincter muscles. Among these two muscles, one is the voluntary sphincter muscles, that is which is under our control, and the second one is involuntary sphincter muscles, which is not under our control. Okay, when the 300 ml of urine is filled, at that time, that is involuntary muscles will gets open, that is contracting and gets opening. But even though we can stop not passing of urine by with help of voluntary sphincter muscles. But when the totally 700 ml is filled in this urinary bladder, at that time what will happen? The pressure develops in this urinary bladder, and thereby the receptor cells present in this urinary bladder will give the signals for the brain. Okay, that is the urinary bladder has been filled up. Then the brain will give the reflexes will go in that, which are not under our control, and thereby the brain will give the indication for the these voluntary muscles also to get a contract, and thereby we go for the process of what? Maturation. We go for the process of what? Maturation. Like that, per day 175 liters of urine is 175 liters of urine is producing per a day. Is a produced per day in a human being. But in that total 175 liters of urine will be excreted out? No. Mostly 99% of urine will be reabsorbed into the body. Only 1.7 to 1.8 liters of urine per a day can be excreted by a healthy human being. Okay, so this is the process of what? Maturation. But whereas you take in the small children, they will be sometimes the urination process will be not under their control. Why? Because these sphincter muscles will be not that much developed, and that will be not having the proper coordination with the brain. So that's why they will be not, their urination process will be not under their control. So urination process will be involuntary in the children due to the sphincter muscles, whereas urination is a voluntary process in the adults. This is about the maturation. Composition of urine. Composition of urine. You know, urine is actually a transparent liquid or transparent fluid. It is amber in color. Okay, amber in color. Due to what? Due to the presence of a pigment called as a urochrome. Urochrome is one of the bile pigment. Due to the presence of this bile pigment, that urine will be amber in color. Next, this urine you take means 96% of urine consisting of water, and 2.56% consisting of nothing but organic salts. Organic salts. What are the organic salts? Like glucose, amino acids, creatine, creatinine, as well as urea, uric acid, okay, ammonia, etc. So many are there. Next, 1.5% will be what? That is inorganic salts. Inorganic salts. What are these inorganic salts? Like a sodium, like a potassium, sodium, chlorine, magnesium, etc. These are the inorganic salts. And if you take the urine in the beginning, it will be acidic in nature. It will be what? Acidic in nature. But later it becomes what? Alkaline. It becomes what? Alkaline. So why in the beginning it is acidic in nature, later it become alkaline means due to the sinana in the beginning in the urine what will be there? The urea is there, no? This urea has been converted into what? Ammonia due to the deamination. Okay, conversion of urea into ammonia. The acidic nature of that is actually first we have to take urea is there. That urea is converted to amino acids, and these amino acids will be deaminated and forms as what? Ammonia. So amino acids means nothing but they are acidic in nature. Amino acids. Later due to deamination, this amino acids has been converted into what? That is ammonia. So that is the reason later it converts into what? That is alkaline in nature. So this is about the composition of urine in general. But when you take more protein food, that is amino acid levels may be increases. If you take more carbohydrate, the glucose levels may also increases. Okay, and so like this, it is varies from depending upon the type of food what you consume. ESRD means end stage renal disease. End stage renal disease. What do you mean by this means when the two kidneys are completely failure, at that time there is no filtration of blood occurs naturally in the kidneys, then the excess amounts of water and excess amounts of salts will be left over in the body, then that condition is called ESRD. Okay, end stage renal disease, that leads to a disease called as uremia. What is that, Nana? Uremia. Urea means what? That is excess amounts of water as well as salts. The excess amounts of water and salts will be stores in the body. The stores in the water body, that is called as, that leads to swelling. That is the swelling of body parts. That condition called uremia. So in this there are two options to cure the disease. The first option is nothing but that is dialysis. A process called what? Dialysis. Second option we have is kidney transplant. Second option is what, Anna? Kidney transplantation. So these are the two options to cure this disease, Nana. Okay, first is dialysis process and second one is a kidney transplantation process. And see, first process will take. This dialysis is also called as hemodialysis. Hemodialysis. In this, what will they take? First, from the patient main artery, they collect the total impure blood and they send into this apparatus. This apparatus is called as a dialyzer. What is it, Anna? Dialyzer. In the dialyzer, you see these tube-like structures. Are there no? These tube-like structures are called as channels or else tubes. Whereas the liquid is present actually between these tubes. You see between this tube and this tube there will be a liquid like this, and this liquid is nothing but called as a dialysing fluid. Dialysing fluid. This dialysing fluid, how it will be? The dialysing fluid is same as plasma of the blood. Same as plasma of the blood, except nitrogenous waste. Except what, Anna? Nitrogenous waste. Nitrogenous waste. Remaining all useful metals will be present. And now what will happen? In this bottle they collect from main artery the impure blood. That impure blood will be sent into this dialysing fluid. Sorry, dialyzer. That machine called what? Dialyzer. In the dialyzer, these channels are present. The channels will take up this liquid. So like this is RMXC. And from one channel to another channel, one channel to another channel goes on like this. Actually, they are interconnected. So as the blood is moving in this direction like this, at that time what will happen? The impurities present in this impure blood. Whatever the impurities, okay, in the impure blood, whatever the impurities are there, that impurities will be enters into the dialysing fluid. Why? Because the dialysing fluid the impurities are less, so that is enters into the dialysing fluid. Okay, and in the dialysing fluid whatever the useful molecules are there and useful salts are there, that useful salts, okay, that is useful substances which are present in the dialysing fluid will enters into this blood. And there what happen? The blood become what? Purified. The impure blood becomes what? Purified. So in this way. And here what are the principles involved here? In the impurities has to be transferred into the dialysing fluid from impure blood. At the same time the purities present in this, that is useful molecules present in this dialysing fluid into the blood is nothing but osmosis. What is that? Osmosis, as well as diffusion also. As well as what? Diffusion also. So the why, because this cell membrane, this channel's outside membrane is made up of with a cellophane. They are made up with what? Cellophane. This cellophane is acting as a plasma membrane. Is acting as what? A plasma membrane. So this plasma membrane helps in the process of what? Osmosis. So they would happen, the molecules are being gets interexchanged between the dialysing fluid and the impure blood. So thereby the impure blood converts into purified blood. So that purified blood will be collected back into again another bottle, and after collecting here by adding anticoagulant agent called heparin, and this purified blood again through the another another pipe with a, they send into their vein. Okay, we are taking a impure blood with help of from the artery, whereas the purified blood is sending into the body through what? Vein. So in this way, the how the dialysing process will be occurs with help of this machine called as a dialysing machine. And this dialysing machine is also called artificial kidney. Is also called what? Artificial kidney. So what we discussed up to now, that I will be saying in a form of flow chart. First, from the main artery of a patient. From what? From main artery of a patient, the impure blood will be collected. Impure blood will be collected. And that impure blood will be sent into what? This machine called as a dialyzer. Send into a machine called what? Dialyzer. And this dialyzer will be sending, and in the dialyzer what happened? The dialysing fluid will be there. The dialysing fluid will be get between this impure blood and dialysing fluid, that is whatever the impurities are there in the impure blood will enters in the dialysing fluid, and whatever the useful substances are present in the dialysing fluid will enters into this impure blood. So thereby the impure blood will convert into what? Purified blood. And that purified blood will be, now the impure blood will be converts into the impure blood has been converted into what? Purified blood. So how it is, I told there, explained over there. And now that purified blood now will be taken through the from the vein of the patient, they enters into the what? That person. So in that way, that dialysing process will be occurs. This is the dialysing process. Simple nana, main artery నుంచి impure blood తీసుకొని dialysing machine లోకి పంపిస్తారు. Dialysing machine లో ఏముంటుందన్నా, ఈ ట్యూబ్ లైక్ స్ట్రక్చర్స్ ఛానల్స్ ఆర్ ట్యూబ్స్ అంటాం. ఈ ఛానల్స్ అండ్ ట్యూబ్స్ మధ్యలో ఒక లిక్విడ్ ఉంటుంది. ఆ లిక్విడ్ పేరు వచ్చేసి డయాలజింగ్ ఫ్లూయిడ్. ఈ డయాలజింగ్ ఫ్లూయిడ్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది అంటే, బ్లడ్ లో ఉన్న ప్లాస్మా ఎలా ఉంటుందో ఈ డయాలజింగ్ ఫ్లూయిడ్ కూడా అలానే ఉంటుంది. కానీ నైట్రోజనస్ వేస్ట్ మాత్రం ఉండవు. ప్లాస్మాలో నైట్రోజనస్ వేస్ట్ కూడా ఉంటాయి, కానీ ఇందులో నైట్రోజనస్ వేస్ట్ ఉంటాయి. ఓన్లీ యూస్ఫుల్ సబ్స్టెన్సెస్ ఉంటాయి. అప్పుడు బ్లడ్ ఈ ఛానల్స్ లోకి ఇలా 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 ప్రయాణం చేస్తున్నప్పుడు అప్పుడేమవుతుంది, బ్లడ్ లో ఉన్న ఇంప్యూరిటీస్ అన్నేమో దిస్ డయాలజింగ్ ఫ్లూయిడ్ లోకి వెళ్ళిపోతాయి. డయాలజింగ్ ఫ్లూయిడ్ లో ఉన్న ప్యూరిటీస్ అన్ని అంటే యూస్ఫుల్ సబ్స్టెన్సెస్ అన్ని బ్లడ్ లోకి ఇంప్యూర్ బ్లడ్ కి వెళ్ళిపోతాయి. దాని వల్ల ఏమవుతుంది, ఇంప్యూర్ బ్లడ్ ఈస్ కన్వర్టింగ్ ఇంటూ ద ప్యూర్ బ్లడ్. ఆ ప్యూర్ బ్లడ్ ని మళ్ళీ ఒక బాటిల్లో కలెక్ట్ చేస్తారు. ఈ కలెక్ట్ చేసేటప్పుడు దే విల్ యూజ్, అక్కడ వాళ్ళు ఏం యూజ్ చేస్తారన్న, యాంటీ కోయాగులెంట్ ఏజెంట్ కల హెపారిన్. అంటే హెపారిన్ అని ఒక కెమికల్ యూజ్ చేస్తారు. అది యూజ్ చేయడం వల్ల బ్లడ్ గడ్డ కట్టదు నాన్న, యాంటీ కోయాగులెంట్ ఏజెంట్. ఆ బ్లడ్ ని త్రూ ద వీన్, మళ్ళీ వీన్ ద్వారా దే విల్ సెండ్ ఇంటు ద పేషెంట్. సో ఈ ఆయన బ్లడ్ తీసుకొని ప్యూరిఫై చేసి మళ్ళీ అతనికి పంపిస్తారు. దిస్ ఈస్ ద డయాలజింగ్ ప్రాసెస్. ఓకే, ఇట్ టేక్స్ హౌ మచ్ టైం నానా, 3 to 6 hours ఆఫ్ టైం. మొత్తం ఎంత టైం పడుతుంది, 3 to 6 hours ఆఫ్ టైం. అండ్ ఇట్ డిపెండ్స్ అపాన్ ద డాక్టర్స్ అడ్వైస్. కొందరికి వీక్లీ వన్స్ ఆర్ మంత్లీ వన్స్ ఆర్ డైలీ ఆర్ ఆల్టర్నేట్ డే, డిపెండింగ్ అపాన్ ద కిడ్నీ ఫెయిల్యూర్ పర్సంటేజ్ దే విల్ బి డిఫర్స్. ఓకే, దిస్ ఈస్ అబౌట్ డయాలజింగ్ ప్రాసెస్. ఇఫ్ డయాలసిస్ is the first option. Second option is what? Kidney transplantation. So if a donor is available for the ESRD patient, they can go for the kidney transplantation. It is a permanent solution for this ESRD patient. In this, first in the 1954 in USA in Washington, a doctor called as Dr. Charles Ufnangel. He is the first person between the identical twins. Between the identical twins. That means the two twins who are similar, between them he has been get a transplanted kidney. So that is perfectly and in the for the first time. Later in the year of 1971, in 1971 in India, that is in Tamil Nadu, that is in the Vellore city, that is in Christian Medical College. CMC means Christian Medical College. The first kidney transplantation was taken place in our India, and the kidney transplantation is preferably between the closely relatives. Between the close relatives. Between what are close relatives. And moreover, but also we can take the kidney from the persons who have the same blood group. We have what on a same blood group, one thing. And whenever the blood group is matching and the tissue is matching, at that time we can match, at that time we can go for the kidney transplantation. Nowadays so many number of technical advance has been came in the medicines, and with help of that, before transplanting the kidney, whether that kidney is suitable for the recipient or not from the donor's kidney, they will check it and then only they go for transplantation. In previous days, sometimes what will happen after the transplantation also, the immune system of that recipient is able to reject that kidney and unable to compatibility is not done. That is not adjusting to that recipient's body. So that has been nowadays has been avoiding with help of several tests which will done before the kidney transplantation. So this is a permanent solution for the ESRD patients.
Please like, share and subscribe.